Considering how when people envision the word tank, they think of usually a German one, the fact that in the First World War, Germany didn't even consider tanks to be a viable combat weapon until after the British fielded them in 1916 and didn't actually build them until 1918, really points out how far things came in 20 years after the war. The A7V, which Mephisto is a part of, and which Germany made between 20 and 22 overall, they were very heavily on what the Navy was doing because they required 2 maritime engines to function. And Germany was putting these same engines into the U-boats, which had a proven track record. The Germans knew U-boats worked. Tanks was still a novelty that no one really took seriously at the time. That being said, Germany made excellent use of British and French tanks when they called them Bootpanzers, or captured tanks. All in all, they ended up capturing about 170 of them. The main reason for this is because the doctrine at the time, because of how mechanically unreliable and weak the armor was the early tanks were, is if your tank stopped working, the crew got out and went somewhere else. They went back to friendly lines and they pushed forward as light infantry. And the intent of capturing the tank was rarely ever even in contention. It was like, if we got around to it, we would recover it, build it, repair it, send it back in the lines. More often than not, the Germans would capture it, or they'd blow it up. Of that 170, most of them saw battle in company and battalion level. They were all painted in German colours, and they learnt a lot more about tank design by capturing the vastly superior British and French tanks than they ever did by building their own. By the end of the First World War, of the 170 Bootpanzers that Germany had fielded, 35 of them were still combat ready, which, considering there were less than 20 A7Vs at the same time, tells you that Germany had kind of given up on building their own. And to be perfectly honest, in the early part of the 1939-45 conflict, Germany was fielding predominantly Czechoslovakian, Polish, and French tanks alongside their Panzer I, II, and IIIs. Because if it ain't broke, why bother fixing it?